call this city council meeting to order. Are there any agenda changes?
None from staff this evening, Mr. Mayor.
Then we'll move right on to public forum, and I can't tell you how happy I am to see so many faces in the crowd. Is anybody here to just speak? All right.
Please state your name and who you are.
Pat Wendling, rural Harvey County resident. I know this never happens to you guys, but I'm here to personally and communally thank you for the attention that's been done at the cemetery. It's awesome. It's fantastic. It looks great. It's just, I didn't think it was going to happen that fast. So it is just wonderful. So that's all I have to say. You guys have a big agenda, so thank you very much from me and the community. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Pat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pat and Bonnie.
We'll pass that along to the guys that actually deserve it.
Thanks.
I guess we're. Good evening, everybody. My name is Laura King. I live a mile outside of the city limits. I know you guys have been discussing this a lot, and I just wanted to give a little bit of my view. I'm really tired of getting run over by people on scooters.
Amen.
And what I would suggest, and I know you guys are talking about lots of different things, but when I was a kid, I couldn't ride a bicycle without a license. It wasn't that expensive. But you know, if somebody saw the number on the back of the scooter or the bicycle, it could be traced back to them. And if they got a ticket for running over somebody, I don't think they'd do it again. And I'm not looking for a big cost for a bicycle and a scooter tag. I just want something so I don't know all the kids in Halstead. My kids have been out of school for a long time. And I'm not going to go to the police department and say, well, he looks like this, and he looks like this, and he did this, and he did this. I just want to go in and say, this is the kid that mistakenly tried to run me over. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
That is a subject that is being discussed a lot.
I'm sure it is.
And it's
I
a
just wanted to add my little 2 cents.
it's a really big subject, and that is one of the things that has been talked about.
Not just here,
Yeah.
everywhere.
Hello, Kevin Henderson, Halstead resident. This is another one of the subjects I know you guys have been doing a lot of work on is the budget. We're not asking the Halstead Council to be perfect. We're just asking you to be frugal with our money. City of Newton is in the news. They've decided to lower their property mill rate to show Newton residents that they're listening to those they're supposed to represent and serve. Therefore, on behalf of every Halstead resident, I'd like to ask the mayor, Halstead Council, and the Halstead administration to follow the lead of Newton. Maybe lower the Halstead city mill levy from the 79 you've discussed to 76.75. That's a compromise number between what I understand is the revenue neutral rate of 74.32 and the 79 that I think you decided on in the work sessions. I believe every Halstead resident would applaud that action. Living within your means on a budget can be really difficult, and I know that's what you're having to try and do as you guys discuss what you're doing with the budget and working on the different stuff. I believe you're up to that task if you choose to do so, and I think Halstead would applaud you. Thank you. You'll have a good evening.
Thank you for speaking.
Thanks, Kevin.
Ron Dick, Halstead resident. I know that recently we just received a new fire truck, and the old one is now currently sitting out at the wastewater treatment. And there is a new ambulance also that has been come into possession. And what is the plans on the use or the sale of the old equipment? That's all I'm to add to the budget. So,
What is our plan, Ethan?
As discussed when we went through and you approved it, the old fire engine is currently marketed via Brinley Fire Apparatus for sale. Has not had a few inquiries, but none have followed through as far as buying it. And the ambulance most likely would also go to a form of public auction or direct sale as well. But we have not made the plan for that one yet until we receive the new ambulance. And then proceeds from the sale of old equipment always go back into the equipment fund to offset future equipment purchases.
Jim, correct me if I'm wrong, the fire truck is been decommissioned because it has dated out, is that correct?
Correct. They
So
had
it's
a,
not because we just wanted a new truck.
no,
been
one,
dated out.
one of the restrictions on that, when we bought it new, kind of has a gap measure. And it served for 6 years, I believe. Our initial cost of that engine when we bought it was $15,000, believe it or not. We went all the way to Washington to look at it, and then we shipped it here. And we put some dollars into it, and it served out. The problem with it is it needs, the ladder needs a lot of work. And it was just not prohibitive to do that. And a lot of, the other thing I might note, I know it's sitting out there where it's at, and the reason it's sitting out there is because there's no room for it underneath. The problem is we don't have enough height in a building to get it into and let it sit there, so. But that kind of an update on that one. And I know on the ambulances, the same way, a lot of times we'll put them online for sale, or I think we still use, is it still Purple Wave?
Yep.
A lot of times that's an option for them. They usually don't go back into ambulance service, they usually go into a service maintenance or somebody's
It become a
Truck.
plumbing truck.
plumbing truck or something like that, a lot of times.
And this fire engine, will that probably be scavenged? Somebody will buy it and scavenge the parts off of it, or what do you think will happen to
Well,
that?
you know, it can be used as a pumper. It's just, because the pump's not the issue, it's the ladder that's the issue. And anybody that knows, they'll tell you the same thing. Anybody that knows anything about ladder trucks, they're pretty complex. And when they get to a certain age, they usually take them out of service just because. And this one, it's an '01. Yeah. Yeah. Lot of-
hoping to get out of it?
Excuse me.
What are you hoping to get out of it?
Oh, you know, I don't know what they have it advertised for. I didn't look online. You know, like I said, we bought it for 15, but it was a suburb of Seattle, and they were selling 6 of them at once. So they just wanted to get them out of the way so they could get them. So it's kind of hard to gauge on that. You know, I'd give you a for sure answer, but I don't know what that answer would be. So, right now.
I think it's listed at 50.
Yeah, I was gonna say 50, but, yeah, if we did quite a bit of light work to it and things like that, I'd say probably, I'm gonna guess 25 to 30 would be a good estimate in the end price. That would be a guess. That's only a guess, so.
The ladder needing to be worked on, because anytime you're picking people up, it's gotta be done by the right people, and it's gonna be expensive, and that would,
Now, that's
it's
a,
likely holding the sale of it up.
that's a certification thing too.
It needs overhauled.
You can't use it if it's not certified, so.
Anyone else? We will move along then. Moving to the consent agenda.
Mr. Mayor, if there's no questions, after reviewing the consent agenda, I'd make a motion to approve it as submitted.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye, and raise your hand.
Aye.
100%? Moving to unfinished business. We don't have any that I can see. New business. Neighbor store funding request.
My name is Dan Evans, and I'm representing the Neighbor Store today. And I think in years past, we've come here before this body and has asked for contributions to the Neighbor Store. But I just wanted to kind of just tell you a few things that the Neighbor Store has been doing here, which is kind of a silent thing, but nobody really knows much about it. Does anybody really have an idea when the Neighbor Store started? Right across the street here? It started in 1985. It's 41 years. 41 years we've been serving the population of Halstead here and so forth. What we do, obviously, you probably know just as much about it as I do, but anyway, people donate everything, you can think of, and sometimes it's kind of junk, but we take those things and we refurbish them, we clean them, we fix them up, and then we put them back into the store and we sell those items. And so this past year, the selling of those things brought in $35,230 for Neighbor Store. And you think, well, a number kind of doesn't really strike me very, very strongly. But when you look at a pair of jeans that we sell for $3, or a shirt that's $1.50, or shoes for a couple dollars and so forth, a $200 day, people get excited and they'll call Megan and say, my goodness, we had a $200 day, everybody's all excited about that and everything. That's really great. So then on top of that, the churches and the city of Halstead and so forth will make some contributions to the Neighbor Store. And that last year, for last year, would total $42,048. And so then we take those monies and then we turn them around, meaning that we pay electrical bills for people, gas bills for people, we pay rent for people that are maybe laid off, any kind of things that really is surfacing that we can help some people, we will do that. And we've even bought cars for people that their car just completely broke down, and we made contributions in order to do something like that. Anyway, then from that standpoint, we have paid out $43,010 in just giving back to people that are really in need, and that represented 118 families. Okay. Then on that, that's mostly the store side of things. But then we have the pantry side that we have there. And every Monday, as you can see, there's cars around there and everything. People are coming in there. And normally when we have government subsidies that are coming into the Neighbor Store, we will have about 45 people that will come to the Neighbor Store and obtain food products and so forth. On a normal Monday, other than that, usually that's about one time a month. On the other three Mondays, we usually have about 20 to 25 people that will come in, and they walk in, and there'll be a list there, and they fill out the list with what they're going to be needing, and staff will take this list and fill it for them and give it to them, even load it up in their car if they need to, and that's how we support some of the other people in Halstead with the food. There's about, in a week's period of time, there's probably 30 to 40 volunteers. It's all run by volunteers. And they're like at Thanksgiving time, we put together baskets, and these baskets have a turkey, and they have dressing, and they have all kinds of things that will go in there for a pretty nice meal for people. And we did that 50 baskets this last year. And then we do something similar for Easter, and we had 45 baskets for that. And then we had some Christmas angels where we buy gifts for people that are children that are in need, and that numbered about 30. Again, it's all run by volunteers, and so it's really quite an organization. And I was just surprised when I was looking at the dates here to say, well, we've been doing that for 41 years. It actually started at my house with Mrs. Hebert and my wife were sitting together saying, people in this city have some needs, And it started there, then it went to our church, and we outgrew that real fast. And then we went down to Main Street, and it's just been there for the last 41 years. It's been great. So with that, I'm going to shut up and see if you have any other questions. And if you do, I might be able to answer them. My wife was going to be here today with me, but she's having choir practice. So I appreciate you putting me on first so I can go to the choir practice also. So anyway, if there's money in the budget for the city and they can make a contribution to the neighbor store, we greatly appreciate it. So, any questions that you have for me?
No questions. I just appreciate your efforts.
Thank you.
I think
Thank
it
you,
makes
James.
a great deal of meaning and support for the city.
Yeah, I echo that. I thank you for your hours and your heart that goes into that. I know that's God's work, so thank
It is
you
God's
for all
work.
of you reaching out into our community in that way. If there's families that need to have a need, I guess.
Yeah. And so that's a little bit of the problem. We don't take furniture or anything like that, although people have called and said, well, I have a bedroom suite. And so then we can maybe make calls to somebody else to say that if we know somebody that would need something like that, and then we can just, maybe make phone calls in order to swap that out and so forth. So we can do stuff like that.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nan.
Any other
Also have a
questions?
bin behind the store that you can drop things off at any time.
Yeah, that's
I have a
true.
real good one at going at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
It's nice to have that.
Thank you all. We appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, if no other discussion, I'll make a motion to approve the annual donation to the Neighbors Pantry for the amount not to exceed $5,000.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
It carries. Next on our list is the Historical Society funding request.
Joe Trigo.
Jolene Ross, Halstead resident, and on the board of the Historical Society, as is Joe.
So if you got some money, we'd take it. And thank you for the last year's contribution.
I've always said that the depot, I think, is Halstead's best-kept secret. It's been there since 1917, and we're coming up to Old Settlers, and that's our busy weekend. We have a lot of people that come in to the museum at that time. And if I hear it once, I hear it 5 times. Oh, I live here, and I've never been here before.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to slap them around. I'm sorry. But we have people, last year we had over 400 people visit during the year. We had a guy from Japan who came to Halstead because of the picnic display that we have. It's crazy. I had a lady come several years ago from back east with 2 sets of clothes to change into so she could have photo ops with the swan. I don't quite understand all that, but we have spent a lot of time keeping the building
And we
up.
have the only working public telegraph in the state of Kansas.
Yes, and it took a lot of finagling to do that. You'll have to come down and you can
So
actually
I
send,
encourage all of you to join the society. $10, $20.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah.
But, it's over 100 years old and it needs some work. It needs cargo doors replaced or fixed up. Even just the insurance on the building is like $3,000. So anything that you would like to give to us, we would really appreciate it. We get most of our money from grants and donations and memorials, and so it would be very much appreciated.
I know Jack Bender can use the your clicker.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I've got a guy from Patterson, is 93, coming old settlers. And his first job was a telegraph operator, and he's very fluent.
And I asked Jack the other day, I said,
Wow.
when you do that, who are you talking to? Who's on the other end, Jack?
That's what I was thinking. Who's on the other end? Who's receiving?
That's amazing.
So the Swan will hopefully be in the parade, so we'll get some recognition there. And also, we're hoping to do a night in the museum for around October for Halloween. So we've got some things planned, so to bring more people in that have never been in before.
Yes, so again, just so that, for people that aren't familiar, visiting times, it's free to come visit, and it's open on Sunday,
Saturday and Sunday, 2 to 5.
Saturday and Sunday, 2 to 5, and it's free to come in.
And if somebody wants to get a hold of,
Somebody, you
Somebody-
do a special tour, is that what you're saying?
we do it all the time.
Okay, the current display right now
It's
is,
on medicine.
yeah, with a lot of Dr. Hertzler.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what, when I was in last, it was not that long ago, so I was thinking that's what,
We kind of upgraded the high school for alumni, and,
Yeah, we have a nice Halstead
yeah.
Halstead class display. And also, we're open April through like November.
okay.
And on a personal note, they're dedicating the ticket office to the Trigo family Saturday.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, he's seventh generation Trigo, and they've all been instrumental in Halstead history.
That's at 12 o'clock, right?
Yep.
12 o'clock, ribbon cutting, yeah.
Well, we do appreciate all of the efforts of maintaining the history of our community, and that's important, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And congratulations on that cemetery. That's,
Yep.
my dad was involved with years, you know that, or most of you do. And I just saw that decline, and
Yep.
thank you.
Did
And
you
the
have-
scooters.
Did you have something to say, Jim?
No,
Okay.
no.
He's
I
going
may
to.
here in a second.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, if there's no questions or discussion, I'd make a motion to approve the annual donation to the Historical Society for an amount not to exceed $5,000.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
It carries.
Thank you.
Planning and zoning appointees.
Yeah, I believe you have 2 applications for interested people in the 2 open positions on the Planning Commission, and I believe they're both here. As you all expressed interest in wanting to meet applicants and speak to them, and their applications were also in the packet for your review. And then just as, for those of you that this is new, the appointments essentially are made by the mayor, and then if there's a majority in support of those, they would be appointed for 3-year terms.
To expire in April?
Yeah, to expire in April.
Won't be a full 3-year term.
Just filling what was,
They'll fill the empty
empty
vacancy
seats.
until those, and then reappoint.
Hi, I'm Tiara Shields, and I am wanting to be on the Planning and Zoning Committee. As a Realtor and property manager, I think it's a great way for me to expand what I do in Halstead and just be more involved. For those of you that don't know, I will give you a little background of my history here in Halstead. Jim and Lois Held are my grandparents. So I grew up coming here every other year, and then moved here with my parents to Kansas when I was 19, and then met my husband, Stephen, who is a graduate of here, and then we decided when we have kids to come back here and plant roots because this is a really great community. And so now we've been here for 12 years and I just love Halstead. So, any questions? That's all I have.
That's pretty good.
Oh, I appreciate your interest in it.
I'm glad you're willing to do this.
You're going to enjoy it because it's the first line of everything that's coming in
Yes.
Halstead. You'll hear about it there first.
I'm excited about that. Yes.
Well, thank you for stepping up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
I'm Daryl Graves. I'm the other one that's put in for it. Wife and I moved over here to Halstead 4 or 5 years ago. I moved to Harvey County 17 years or so ago, not knowing anything about it. I came from western Kansas, and after driving around the county and everything, I was like, man, I really like Halstead. Someday I'm going to live in Halstead. And so 4 or 5 years ago, opportunity fell into our laps, and we moved to town, and we love it here. We love how quiet and small and quaint it is, and everybody knows everybody. And previous places that I've lived, I've tried to help out in some way. That was volunteer fire department in some places. And when I moved here, Jim tried real hard to get me involved in that. But I was like, man, I'm getting at the age where I just can't be going all the time. So on days off, I need some days off. But I still want to be involved in the community. And I feel like I would be able to accomplish some good things by helping out with planning and zoning, so.
Well, appreciate you.
Thank you,
It's-
Daryl.
it's-
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
So
we need good people, thinkers on the zoning board.
Yeah,
I
thank
work
you.
with Daryl's wife on the Historical Society in Newton for a term or two. She's out there laughing at me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry for the tiny little distraction, but.
Oh, we take it. We'll take it.
We are grateful for. Only good thing, she's actually from my area where I grew up, so. That's it.
Getting these 2 seats filled it gives people like this time of year, the don't feel bad about going on vacation, because if one person more doesn't show to the meeting, we don't have a quorum. That's come real close.
Yeah, and so I had some I can't remember for certain, so I thought I would ask, how many meetings a month and what days were those?
It's Monday.
Meetings
One.
are the second Monday of the month at 6 PM. There is on occasion that we have to call a special meeting for something that has come up, but we only do 1 or 2 of those typically a year max.
Okay.
I
They're
know
not
with
long.
your shift that may not work every time, but.
Not every time. There may be a few days here and there where I have some conflict, but like tonight, I'm on duty today, and I was able to find somebody to cover me for a little bit so I could come over and visit with you all, so.
Well, we greatly appreciate it. So
Yeah,
thank you.
so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks. No, you're good.
Ethan, do we need to make a motion on that or just?
Yeah, if you want to proceed with these 2 applicants to fill the 2 open seats, you would just have Mr. Mayor make the appointment and then ask for a vote to confirm those appointments.
I very much want to appoint them, and let's have just one vote to, okay, both of them be all right?
They share term. Right. So,
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
you'll need a motion in a second.
Yeah, we still need to make.
Still need a motion?
George, are you?
Mr. Mayor, I'd make a motion to appoint Tara Shields and Dennis Darrell Graves to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Did he say T?
Again.
Did you say Miss Shields?
You said them both, didn't you?
I said them both, yes.
I knew that was coming.
I'll send, I'll include you guys on the packet when I send that out, probably tomorrow afternoon.
First meeting's in Hawaii.
Familiarize yourself.
2-week meeting.
Next is mausoleum and cemetery wall update.
I will turn it over to Mr. Cotner, who is leading the project on this.
Yeah, so as you are all aware, we've had several talks and discussions and meetings about the Mausoleum Foundation and the other stuff. So we decided to invite the contractors who submitted the mausoleum proposals. We have one tonight, and there will be some at the next council meeting on August 19th. So just keep that in mind, that we have more to hear from at the next council meeting. But with that, I would like to introduce our representative from Groundworks here today. And he's going to talk about his proposal that he submitted that was in your packet a few weeks ago. So, thank you.
Hi, my name's Rick Duncan. I'm the commercial rep for Groundworks. Just to go a little bit about history, we've been doing this for 40 years. We're the largest foundation company in the nation, from the West Coast to the East Coast, Florida and Texas, all the way into Canada. We've acquired several companies recently within the last 4 or 5 years that have done nothing but commercial work, and so we've launched our commercial division nationwide. I'm the rep for Kansas and part of Missouri. I have an office in Wichita and in Lee Summit, Missouri. So I did the inspection on the mausoleum, and just go over a little bit of basic knowledge. There's 3 different types of foundations. Slab on grade, where they pour the concrete directly on the pre-treated soil, crawl space and basement. Now, the mausoleum has both crawl space and basement, and that's very important in this situation, how we go about fixing the problems. It's a very difficult task. This is not an easy fix. First of all, the crawl space does not have floor joists underneath it. It is a concrete slab on top of exterior and interior foundations. So I have a couple photos. I'm gonna plug in my computer so I can kind of show you, because you probably all haven't been in the crawl space of the mausoleum. So I've just prepared a couple things. Okay, so this is one of the pictures that is showing the archway. I guess it's not on both TVs, but it will be. Okay, showing the cracks on the archways. So just to describe what these horizontal cracks are doing in the bricks is, there is shear strength in that wall from perimeter foundation to perimeter foundation. When the floor starts sinking, the bricks separate at different levels. We call them stair-step cracks. That tells me that the center floor is sinking compared to the exterior foundation. This is inside. You can see the horizontal crack at the doorway, and there's concrete that is dropped from the ceiling. That just tells me that the walls are unstable.
Once delayed.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's.
Yeah, there's about a 20-second delay before it hits.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, so that rock has fallen from the top of the wall. So these are more stair-step cracks in the corner right above the vent. And again, that's just telling me that the floor is sinking from the exterior walls. I wish they'd be at the same speed so I could go faster. So as you can see, those cracks at that level, and right in the corner is the vent, the HVAC vent. So in the basement is your HVAC system. There's a steel pipe that goes from the basement to that vent to push air in. So I'll go into the crawl space here really quick.
Says you.
So this is looking through that vent hole. we removed just the box part of the duct, which blows the air into the mausoleum from the basement ductwork. So you can see there's about this much room between the slab and the soil. That's basically enough to crawl in. It's fairly tight, but that's what makes it challenging, but hey, if it wasn't hard, we wouldn't do it. So anyway, so this is what we're looking at. We have a solid concrete slab, which is structural in nature. And then we have the stem walls on the inside, which is basically built the same as a perimeter foundation. It has a footing, the wall, then the floor is poured. So normally, we would use something called an eccentric pier. An eccentric pier is a push pier where it uses the weight of the building to push pipe all the way down until we hit bedrock.
Where's bedrock around here?
So this picture shows a ram for an eccentric pier that we drive the pipe all the way down to bedrock using a bracket that goes underneath the footing. In some buildings, we would cut through the floor and we would put the bracket underneath the footing and push the pipe straight down through the floor. Now, if it was a wood floor, but because we have a concrete slab that is a structural slab, anytime you cut through that slab, you weaken the structural integrity. And in this situation, there is the chance of a collapse when you cut through. There's structural steel in the concrete. Anytime you cut that, you're weakening the concrete. And you know, it's just, concrete doesn't bend, it breaks. And if you take out the structural integrity, it can collapse. So my solution is we are gonna get in the crawl space and we are going to dig. So that's what the bracket with the push pier assembly looks like on it. You can see the bracket on the side of the foundation. And then the pipe is pushed down past the side of the foundation using that tall ram. This is frustrating.
And that would happen on the inside.
So in the ideal situation, if we could cut through the floor, this is what we would do. Now, since we can't cut through the floor, we are going to be doing something called a concentric pier, where we dig underneath the footing and we are going to put a small ram underneath the footing and push pipe down. So normally with an eccentric pier, we push down 3-foot pipe because we have all that distance on the side of the footing. We're only gonna be pushing down 1-foot pieces of pipe. Pushing it down, it's a lot more time consuming, a lot more difficult, but it's the only solution for this project without cutting the floor. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get in the crawl space, we are gonna dig a trench along the footing so we have room to work. We're gonna dig underneath the footing so we can get the ram underneath that footing, and then we're going to be putting piers along the footing on the interior. This is what a concentric pier looks like underneath a flooring system in our warehouse in Dallas, Texas. We had to lift our warehouse because we lifted and leveled, so this is what it looks like when it's finished with the concentric piers underneath the foundation. So the reason I went through all that is because I want to make sure that you're all informed about the danger of cutting through that floor to do anything. Now we have, like I said, we have an exterior foundation and then we have an interior foundation. In that one picture that I showed you of the crawl space, you could see like different sections of that crawl space going different directions. None of that was perimeter foundation. That was all on the inside, and that's what's sinking. I didn't find any exterior foundation settlement at all. It's all on the inside. Why is that happening? There's a lot of reasons. Bedrock's very deep here. We got a lot of soil. We got a lot of river. There's a lot of sediment that's unstable soil. And this building was built a long time ago. So my goal is if we can lift up this flooring to close up those gaps in those walls, it will stabilize the walls. Right now, I don't feel the walls are very stable. As concrete's falling, once we get these piers under there and we lift the building up so that we close up those gaps, that rebuilds structural integrity into those walls. So my proposal, it took me a long time to put this proposal together because I was going back and forth with my engineers and trying to get the right plan. So this is what we came up with, and I think it's like the only, I almost walked away from the job because the crawl space is so tight. But we're gonna have to get down there, and I'll probably go down there with the boys and help them dig because they're not gonna be too happy about it. But we're gonna tunnel down along those, I'm serious, I'm being real with you. They do not wanna do that kind of work, but it's essential for this project. There's no other fix that's gonna work.
Once you dig out that trench,
Mhm.
do you plan on filling it back in?
We'll level it back out when we're done. Yeah, we need to level it back out because that HVAC duct goes right through that area, and we can't leave a mounded up soil. We want that ductwork to go back in there.
Okay.
We might spread some of it out into parts of the crawl space so that it's level, but it's gonna be a little different.
I didn't know if you were gonna completely just,
No, we're not gonna move it out. We're gonna pile it up so we have room to work, and then we'll put it back.
and so do you know how deep bedrock is?
Yeah, very. So one of the things that,
Technical term?
it's roughly 160 feet.
Oh,
But what we have with our concentric piers, because they're 1 foot spacings, what my goal is to probably put about 30 to 40 feet down in the ground, and then adding friction plates, which will go down and basically act as extra stoppers at depth, which will increase the pressure, the amount of pressure we're pushing down. And once we get to a certain amount of pressure, we're locked in.
okay.
So we'll add friction plates as we're putting it down to, we want to get enough down into the ground so we have some good solid, and then we're going to add the friction plates and just push those down, which will really kind of be like putting a cork in a bottle.
So you may not have to go clear to bedrock.
Correct, yeah. I find it highly likely that we would be able to. That's why I'm adding those friction plates so that we can get some.
That makes sense.
So anyway, that's kind of what I wanted to present to you so that you guys understood, because it's extremely technical stuff. And that's why I wanted to come and present to you, so you understood kind of the dangers of cutting through that floor, and that I looked at every option.
As we spoke this morning, like you said, that the floor is a structural floor. It actually works as a diaphragm. It sends loads laterally.
Correct.
All over that building. You cut that out, and all of a sudden the loads that it should be going through, where?
Right. And another thing to think about is if the center of that floor is sinking, it's also lengthening. We're gonna be lifting it up to shorten it back and tighten everything up. So that's my goal with this project. I mean, we just finished up a $209,000 job on a school in Grandview, Missouri, where half of the school had sunk and it was slab on grade. They wanted us to just stabilize, and when I walked in there and I showed them all the CMU block walls through the school had horizontal cracks that were this wide, I'm like, these walls aren't stable. With kids in here, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing this job unless we're gonna lift it and close those up. And we did. So, yeah, it's, I absolutely love what I do because I feel like I'm doing the right thing for people and making a better situation out of something that's bad. So that's kind of.
I can tell you enjoy it.
Oh, it's, I've been doing this for a long time. I was a general contractor out in California, built high rises in San Francisco. Got injured, my brother forced me to retire, and so after my recovery, he said, why don't you become an inspector because you're not going to work for me anymore. But yeah.
I have a question. Do I need to come up there?
Yeah, that way everybody can hear you.
I'm on the cemetery board. So is it dangerous to be in there now?
No.
No.
It's not going to collapse the way it is right now.
Okay.
It's perfectly fine. There is a danger of stuff falling. That's the only concern, because right now it's unstable. But it's not falling continuously. It's not falling apart. You can walk in there, I feel safe going in there. I feel safe getting under the floor.
Okay.
So it's not gonna collapse unless we do something to that structural integrity. That's the scary part. Because I know there's a lot of guys out there that don't understand that. My first thought is, oh yeah, we can just cut through the floor. And then when I start thinking about it, and then I called my engineers, they're like, no. So my first thought was to cut through the floor, but I had to go back and rethink it. It took me a while. And to do it for the safety of my guys, the only way to do it is the way that I designed it.
Okay. And I don't know how much this is. I don't have a estimate.
I don't know if we have.
Was it in your packet?
Do you remember what it was?
Do you want me to put it up?
I can read it, I can read it to you right here.
Oh, go ahead.
I mean, and he can, that's fine.
$54,176.
How much?
$54,176.
And how long would this take?
Probably a week and a half. Because there's a lot of labor in this job, digging underneath there with shovels that are this long. So it's labor intensive, and it's very tight quarters. They're gonna need PPE, respirators and stuff like that when they're digging in that dust. So yeah, it's gonna take about a week and a half to get this project done.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, I can say I've never been a fan of cutting that floor. I really want to find a way that does not involve cutting that floor. I think, and now hearing that there's structural integrity issues, the flooring, the extra amount that would take to fix, and now hearing this, I'm like, yeah, I absolutely don't.
Well, you cut that floor and try to patch it back, you don't get that into structural integrity back. You just don't get it back.
Well, if you cut the floor and it survived the process, you would have to redo all the steel, form back concrete, and then wrap it in carbon fiber just for the strength. Because once you cut the steel in that concrete, it weakens the whole slab. And I won't let my guys go underneath there with cut concrete. It's just too dangerous. So I'm looking out for my guys, and I'm also looking out for the building. The floor is gorgeous, so I want to keep it as much as you do.
Right.
But on a safety side and for the project itself, cutting that floor is the wrong way to go.
Can I ask a question of you, and you're probably gonna have the answer for it, but it's just a question that occurred to me. As you're doing this, I've seen this done with the longer pieces of pipe. What's the stability issues with going, you said 1 foot long?
1 foot long.
compared to-
So I'm gonna be using a steel concentric pier that has a cable that goes through the middle of it, and you saw the cable on that one picture. So that steel concentric pier is gonna hold those pieces together and lined up. And they have fittings, they fit inside of one another.
It was just a.
Yeah, no, it's a good question.
I thought I should ask.
It's a good question.
So I have a couple of thoughts, and it's just, I don't really quite understand, so I just thought I would ask since you're the professional. On the dirt removal, does that have any chances of, like, once you move that away from the foundation, does that make that weakening the foundation in any way? Because obviously, like, that dirt helps probably stabilize some of that in my mind, and so does that move?
No, so it doesn't weaken that. So if you saw in the one picture where I showed the stem wall and the opening, you saw a crack in the stem wall.
Yeah.
And there's several of those in there. Now, but the wall still has linear strength on a horizontal plane. So if you dig under here, it's not gonna collapse. You've still got soil on either side of it that's, so you can dig down underneath it. The concrete itself is going to give stability.
Okay.
So the dirt on the side of it doesn't do anything.
Okay.
You're gonna have dirt that's on either side of it, on either end of the trench, holds it in place, plus it's attached to the floor. So the top's not gonna move, it's attached to the floor, and the footing isn't gonna move because it has linear strength with several contact points where it's gonna be contacting the soil.
Okay, and then pushing that up, obviously there's those gaps and like crumbling things. Is there any risk of, like, once you're moving those parts back into place, essentially, that that also?
That's a good question. Now, there's always risk. Since we already have some concrete that has fallen from the tops, there is always risk. It's gone one direction, we're gonna be pushing it back the opposite direction. So as we're closing it up, it should strengthen everything. There's always a risk of some trim piece, a concrete trim piece coming off when we're lifting it back up. Anytime you're moving a structure, there is a possibility for that. As far as the structural integrity of it, no. We're gonna be, as we close it up, so if a gap is closed here and it's big here, it's going to close up gradually across. And that's going to build stability as it closes. The trim pieces are the only thing that are gonna be a concern.
Okay.
And there's not gonna be anyone in there when we're lifting.
Are you putting stuff back in between those, like concrete back in between or something, like, so as they close, like?
When-
tuck pointing.
Tuck pointing. We don't do the tuck pointing. We're gonna close it up as much as we can, so hopefully there's not a lot of tuck pointing to be done.
Okay.
But you would have to have a brick mason to do that.
Got
But we just did that school. I mean, I could upload a video of us closing up the CMU bricks. That school had a brick mason that was going to do, I think, $10,000 worth of the tuck pointing. He ended up doing 2,000.
Oh.
So we closed up that much of the bricks. So yeah, there is the possibility of some of that trim stuff falling anytime you're moving a building of that weight and that age, but walls aren't gonna fall.
Thank you.
No problem, my pleasure. Any other questions for me?
How many do you think you have to put down?
What did I have on there? I think I had
This is saying 10 piers.
10, yeah, that's what I was, yeah, yeah, it's it's
That one area.
It's the one wall here, and then here. That's where we're putting them. And, because it is localized settlement, it's not the whole thing. There's another part of the mausoleum on the other side where there's a little bit of settlement up at the very top. But how old is that building?
Almost 100 years.
100 years, and it's, sank this much. That's not as much of a concern, but the cracks we're seeing where we're gonna be doing the work, that's pretty severe. So my goal is to make it so that it can be, visited by the families without any risk of anything. So that's my goal. Any other questions? Nope? Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
so much.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Really cleared it up.
My pleasure, and while I'm here, we do a lot of other work, culvert rehabilitation, other buildings. So if you guys do have any, bridge issues, culvert roadway issues, we do that kind of work as well, and buildings around the city. So if you have any questions, I come out for free, inspect, put together a proposal, and let you know. And we've got our own engineers in-house, so we can usually tackle every problem.
Very good.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
So much.
Okay, you're not done with me yet. I have a couple more things for you. So, again, I will repeat, just a reminder, there will be some other contractors that submitted proposals for the foundation talking to us at next council meeting. So with that, doing some research into that foundation and some of the alternative options, that were discussed with the alternative bids. We've put together a very rough estimate of what it would be like to cost for replacing the floor and the slate tile. Anywhere from, for pouring back that concrete and putting the slate tile back, and is gonna cost anywhere from about $8,000 to $15,000 is a very rough estimate, so nowhere near accurate. Haven't got like exact quotes for anything because we're still in the process of figuring out which way we're gonna go. Just so you know, just to give you kind of a range on that. So I did talk to some slate tile companies, and the slate tile is not going to be an exact match. They apparently no longer have the same finish that they did. What that was sand rubbed was what the finish, and they no longer do that. So just keeping that in mind, it's not gonna be an exact match with the slate tile, but there are companies that still do slate floor tiles. So moving on to the cemetery wall. So first off, the easy part with the broken part, the part of the wall that was crashed into, we are still working through insurance on that. So just FYI, it's still going through insurance, who we don't know how long that process is going to take. So we'll keep you up to date as we get updates from them. And then talked to Jordan Masonry about giving us a quote for the rest of the wall in terms of cleaning, tuck pointing, and sealing. So if you remember a while back, we talked about this and they provided a quote, and we have 2 quotes now for cleaning, tuck pointing, and sealing the wall, and they're both about the same range. So we're looking at a price for the whole wall for cleaning, tuck pointing, and sealing is around $70,000 to $75,000. So, you know, I'm just here, we're asking for direction on which way you want to move forward. Is that cleaning and sealing and tuck pointing the whole wall and getting it all done with in one go? Is it taking and tackling one section at a time? So doing one section this year, one section the next year, so on and so forth. Is it just cleaning and no sealing and tuck pointing, cleaning and sealing and no tuck pointing? So just kind of wanting guidance from you all in which, you know, what direction you want to take. I will remind you that the Halstead Cemetery Board did approve $18,000 to go towards this project, so.
Okay, so do you need an answer on what we want to do tonight, or?
You can think about it if you want.
Okay, good. So, there's a lot there.
So,
What, 4 things? We got fixing the foundation, we've got the wall, clean and tuck point, and the hole, and then the exterior of the mausoleum, cleaning and tuck pointing, and then tuck pointing the inside once it's all done.
Yeah.
And to me, like, for a non-budgeted item, this is gonna be staggering when it's all added together, and I'd almost think we really need to somehow
We're gonna have to
bust this up.
section it out.
Well, the first thing that just comes to
That's all there is
mind,
to it.
is we get the mausoleum taken care of, and we start possibly looking at tuck point, getting the hole fixed in the wall. That's an insurance thing, so that'll be fixed. But then we start probably looking at tuck pointing to keep the integrity of the wall, of the mortar that's there. And then we could come back and clean it at a later time. And, you know, maybe just do portions of tuck pointing, just off the cuff here.
Yeah.
With that kind of price tag, we're gonna have to section it out, I believe. I mean, that's
Because anymore,
too much.
I know we all want it cleaned and
Right.
it to look good and to get it sealed, but now that we've seen all these other issues, that's almost last step as we get everything shored up and fixed.
Which I mean, I hear the price tag for sure, but I can't help but think, like, it's like what comes first, right? Like, if you're cleaning it, then you wanna, I mean, and if you don't clean it, are you running the risk of it deteriorating at a faster rate? I mean, I don't really know, but so it's like, I mean, I'm fine with picking and choosing, but then what do you pick and choose? Because if you clean it, then it feels like you should seal it once you clean it to maintain the, I mean, at least, I mean, that's in my mind, but I'm not a mason or any of those things either.
To tuck point it, you've got this grout and stuff that's coming out, and that's where the water goes in there. In wintertime, it'll freeze and tend to crack. So I think the first thing we need to do is protect the integrity of the wall.
Well,
In my opinion, you get a tuck
before,
point.
before you tuck, you have to blast it.
You have to clean it to get all the
'Cause you've
yuck
got
out
dirt
of there,
back
yeah.
in there, and the only way to get that out is a really hard washing, and as soon as you get it clean, then you get your mortar in there and start doing the tuck
We do
work.
30 feet at a time, who knows? Yeah.
Well, that's kind of the decision that you need to make, is how much are we gonna spend on this a year? And how much do we have to spend to keep the Masons' interest in doing the job?
Yeah. I don't know the answer to that question. I can ask, in terms of what would the minimum.
There's gonna be a dollar amount where we really don't wanna move in on the
Yeah.
job if we're not getting this much
So
work.
I can pose that question to them, and obviously, this doesn't have to have an answer tonight. If you guys, are more than welcome to think about it, so.
I mean, we definitely want to maintain, I mean, I think we all agree that taking care of it is important, and we don't want to end up with a, compromised structure down the road. I mean, so,
We'd
we
like for it
just,
to last another 100 years.
yeah, but I think, we need to, if it needs to be cleaned before it's tuck pointed, sorry, I feel like I'm.
And if we could ask.
There's a man with an answer right there.
I have a recommendation for you on the brick basin. If you guys do budget the money to get the wall fixed, but you want to do it in sections, as far as a time frame for them, they're not always busy. If you approach it to them, when you're available and you have free time and you want to do so much amount of work, give us a call, we'll let you know the budget's ready, so that keeps their interest, because that keeps their guys busy year-round. So just as a thought.
That is an excellent suggestion.
Filler work.
Yes, exactly. So they keep their
If
guys
we wanna
busy,
spend this much this year,
and when you have time, when you're not busy, you need work for your guys, send them out.
here you go.
That keeps their attention a lot better, because now they're getting a benefit.
Thank you.
The one wintertime, soda blast.
Versus, yeah.
I do want to say, though, in terms of sealing, you do have to clean before you seal. So you can't
No.
clean and then a year later seal. Like you would have to clean right before you seal. So
Sometimes when I'm working on the brick house, I'm amazed at how much dirt I can pull out between the bricks before you start putting mortar in there.
And
I did a quick Google, not that they're right, but it says tuck pointing on average lasts 30 years. So you need to schedule this as a regular maintenance if you want to maintain.
Oh, not every 100 years?
Not every 100 years, every 30 years. So I would suggest putting something in a budget that says we're going to continue to work on this problem.
And then just to update you all on, because you brought it up and I forgot to mention it earlier, the cleaning and sealing of the outside of the mausoleum that you all approved earlier in the year is set to start taking place Monday, August 10th. So they'll be out and cleaning that exterior and sealing the exterior of the mausoleum.
Let me ask an obvious question here
Yep.
with that. If we're going to be jacking around on the building, should that be done? Would that make a big difference?
No.
I mean, that's.
Wouldn't want to be doing any tuck point work on the exterior before they jack the building back up.
There's minor, there's barely any tuck point work needed on the exterior anyways. And correct me if I'm wrong, but most of the foundation work is needed on the inside and it's not gonna affect the exterior of the
I'm
building.
just asking, because the last thing we want to do is do
Double
it,
duplicate.
and then we jack it up and we got to do it again.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to avoid here, so.
Good question, yes, yes. It should not be duplicate work because, again, the foundation work is gonna be on the interior of the building and shouldn't affect the exterior, so.
Maybe we're gonna talk about another work session. We better put this on there,
Yeah,
because
maybe you can
that's gonna.
get some answers
We need to have
about,
some planning.
how they would like to work that out as so
Okay.
much a year and
Sure.
when they have time.
Yeah, we'll do that.
'Cause sometimes that really knocks the price down.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else I need to?
Thanks, sir.
Okay.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
Thank you.
Okay, now for an easy one, electric motorized bicycles and scooter regulations.
This was governing body requested on the agenda, so I will let you all lead the discussion.
I visited with Chief Orm just on the phone, so as we go along, I might throw in what his thoughts on it. I don't know if Ethan and him talked, but he called me this afternoon because he couldn't be here, so he just wanted to chime in and on some of the things that he suggested, so. Well, basically, I talked to him about what the state statutes are. I think we ought to meet that for sure. I mean, they're already there, so it's whatever else we want to add or we want to talk about adding and those things, it's got to meet the state statute is what it is. So we've got that to start with. It's just, am I correct on that, Brad? So, and there's a certain age where they have to have a license for some of them on a certain deal. They got to be 16 and they got to have a license. And then there's other things for helmets that are suggested, or is that law?
Suggested is probably not the term I would use.
Right.
There's some outlined requirements that we do. We can be more strident, not less, as is always the case with statute.
Right.
In talking with the chief, I don't know how much of that he discussed with you. Some of these things, the more strident we are, the more difficult it is to enforce. Sometimes the more of an issue it becomes in terms of that trade-off between some flexibility and having it become too draconian. Having said that, though, I understand the issue of safety. I get it. Every town that I deal with this in struggles with this a little bit as to how far to go with it. We could produce examples for you of some alternative kinds of legislation that you could put in place and then have the police department weigh in on that as well. I've had this last week a number of people come to my house and bring this issue up. They're afraid to go to the hardware store and come out. They're afraid to go to the grocery store and come out. And these are primarily senior citizens. I'll restate that. They were all senior citizens, put it that way. And they're not suggesting that it's easier to go drive to Newton to shop, but it's a hell of a lot less dangerous. Is how they see it. And then they also brought up, it hadn't been that long ago, that on the streets, right at First Street, on the west side, there used to be painted signs on the sidewalk. No bikes, no scooters, nothing. That's it. And I understand the kids are going down Main Street to go to the pool. I realize that. But by golly, they could walk 2 blocks.
Move over a block.
Yeah.
Or go to Chestnut. It's pretty wide open to do that. But we have some people that are scared. I'm calling it scared. So, yeah, I know the KLRD or whatever it was called spoke about regulations and so on, so on and so forth. Do we want to be more strict? I don't know. We saw what Mountain Ridge has done, and theirs is pretty strict. They didn't get looser, they got tighter. I've contacted a number of cities around, not just Mount Ridge, but Inman, Haven, Town Center. Yeah, everybody's facing this. Everybody's facing, and we're in a position that we have to be reactive instead of proactive. I know there's gnats out there.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I understand you're not shooing me. Because typically,
we can't keep up with the technology. That's it.
Let me ask you a question though, and Josh, Chief Orm and I talked about this too. This is the hot button topic right now. It is, and I think it's important that we address it. But am I not correct on saying for many years there's been a kid riding a bicycle, just a regular bicycle, down the sidewalk? Is that correct? I can tell you it is because I walk all over this town a lot. That's what I do. And they're everywhere, not only on a motorized bicycle, but on a bicycle. You know, I don't want to overregulate the thing. I think it should be addressed, yes. Don't get me wrong. And I understand people being leery of, I don't think it should be on Main Street. I don't think they should be going down the sidewalk on Main Street
I agree.
because of people coming in and out of the doors. You know, but I don't think we should overregulate it either. I don't think we should be a Mound Ridge and put it so stringent that it's kind of, it takes the ambiance out of the town a little bit. But I do think they should keep it off the main drag, you know. That's my opinion. As far as going up and down the street, how many bicycles have rode up and down Chestnut Street in the 100 years that this town's been here?
A lot.
A lot.
How many of them actually go through any kind of safety class?
Well, I agree with that.
I live in a big city and I couldn't.
I agree with that. I agree with that. But how much is that on us? I mean, in retrospect, I mean,
Parents.
If you're not required to get a license, they're certainly not going to get one.
In the end,
Oh, absolutely.
in Kansas law, the parent is liable for any damages, to body or property that the child does with whatever they're on.
If someone reports it.
Can I ask you where your incidents happened? Like you had mentioned.
I can tell you everywhere, but the biggest ones definitely are Main Street, in front of the school, in front of.
And just so that you're driving and
No, I'm walking.
you're walking and a scooter or a bike is pulled out in front of you or near you or.
Right next to me, in front, you know, when you're talking seniors, in front of, the Housing Authority, in front of Homestead, Halstead, multiple times
On the sidewalks or in the bike lane?
on the sidewalk.
On the sidewalk, okay.
And
Just
yes,
trying to get clear.
No, and sidewalks are definitely safer for kids under 16. I don't want them riding these things in the street. They don't know what they're doing. But that makes it not safe for people walking in those spaces. It's a catch-22. And I don't have the answers. That's why you guys get elected, right? You're supposed to have the answers. But,
We're searching.
but, you know, and I'm going on when I was a kid, which is a long time ago. But I had to go to a bike safety class. I had to have a helmet on and I had to have a license. It was on my bicycle. And if I was caught without it, my parents paid money. Or I did.
Yeah.
That sounds too strict for what you guys are looking for, but I don't know how we slow these kids down because they don't have the same values right now.
Well,
And it goes to parents, I get it, but I can't parent all of them and nor can you.
yeah, and this is an age-old issue. I mean, scooters and bicycles have been around for 100 years. The trick that we're really seeing now is the electrified ones. They're going twice as fast as what a traditional bike or scooter can do. And I think there are some laws out there, but I think parents are either ignorant of them or just don't care. Specifically, if you see an e-bike that doesn't have pedals, that shouldn't be allowed. That is technically a motorcycle, and the kid has to, it's either not street legal or they have to have a motorcycle license. But they're also much smaller than motorcycles. It's where there needs to be some new regulations to fit for these. And I think that's part of what we need to look at is, are we going to allow them and where do we allow them?
Well, I mean, so I work in a school too, and I just think, I mean, policy comes from the lack of, I mean, you then have to make a policy because something hasn't, right? And, you know, and so, I'm a believer that it has to be something that can be enforceable. Otherwise, it's just, right? And so, that we have to be really conscious of because we're fortunate that we have a police force here in town, but we have one officer running, you know, and so, you know, I think that that's tricky for them to just be on patrol of these, you know, teenagers or, you know, and so it's such a fine line of teenagers having fun. And so I guess my plea, and I just continue to be asking of this, is for parents that are supplying the bikes and the scooters to kids to educate them. I mean, that's really the first defense here is to educate your children when you're providing them, I think. And then also, you know, remind them, I mean, I saw 2 kids on one bike, I think today. That we just can't do that. I mean, if they don't want stricter things to be put in place, they have to start, or I think we're gonna have to put something into place such as registering them or, because we're not gonna have a choice if they're gonna continue to, you know, if we see more and more and more of that, it is a safety concern for our community members. And we don't want, I mean, I don't think we want, because it's hard to enforce, but our hands are gonna be tied at some point, and we're gonna have to put something into place if they're gonna, I mean.
Well, if you put something as stringent, and I'm gonna say as Mountain Ridges is, because that's pretty stringent, but they, you know, they've got the little bikes, you know, and my gosh, you can buy these things now for $101 and have them delivered for you, and the FedEx guy hates it, but the Walmart guy loves it, but whatever. But you, if you make it strict, you can always back down.
You had something you wanted to say?
Jolene?
Yeah, Deborah, you go first.
Oh,
She had her hand up.
I was just thinking, it's kind of a question of balance that I think if you involve the kids at some point, just say, you know, are they experiencing any problems? There might be some that say, people are zooming by us all the time, we're afraid to ride our bikes over here. Listen to them and see what they can come up with, what they feel like is, I mean, at least I think it would take that sort of that bite and fight out of just pressing something on. I think we need to hear from them.
One of
Another good one.
one of the things that,
Put a median down Main Street in the middle.
What? They may come up with better
yeah,
ideas than what
that,
It's gonna have to be elevated because there's no room for it.
that, one of the things that Chief Orem brought up was the health department does have a thing that they wanted to put it in the old settlers at the rodeo, the
Yeah.
bike rodeo, but bike rodeo folks didn't want it.
Oh.
So he said that they're going to try to do it through the school now instead.
So how many of these electric things are parked at the school on a school day? Is it a lot?
Nobody's parked at the school right now.
But like last year.
Last year at the end, I mean, I never saw an e-bike I don't think. There was maybe a few scooters,
Do they use
maybe
those to go to
less than
school?
5 at the end of the school year,
It's,
but,
it's really not being used to
well,
get
I think that it's amplified since
Yeah.
last spring. Like it kind of kicked off last spring after the new year. You saw some of them and then it really picked up at the end of the school year into the summer, and we're seeing more and more and more of them. So it'll be interesting this year how many you see. I think we'll see lots more this year.
They're not that expensive.
Ethan, when do we want to try to have a work session, our next work session?
That's like
It's on there.
the next thing on the list.
Well, that's, well, I mean, we could do this all
I
night
know,
long.
I know.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I wanted to, Jolene, did you have something while he's looking that up? Or did you have a thought on that too? I didn't want to.
Well, over a year ago, I talked to Chief Orem about having some sort of safety for bikes. And we didn't have so many e-bikes back then, and his comment was, well, they do that at the Learning Center during their rodeo thing in August. I'm going, that's too late. School's about to start. Somebody needs to have something before kids get out of school. They can go to the school and talk to these kids. Because I don't think they know anything about, I mean, I don't know, but watching them on bikes and all over the street, and, you know, they wear dark colors and it's dusk and they're out on their bike, you can't see them. I don't think they have a clue of what they need to do, to be safe.
Their responsibilities, yeah.
That's the parents also, that's the parents'
We
responsibility.
had
And
a
the
group
parents,
ready to
yes.
give free helmets.
Anyway, my question, Ethan, because whenever we have our next meeting, I don't know if you could have something ready for us.
So when you're meeting it.
Could we get some examples of somebody
Yeah,
else?
some examples.
So we can
That's
pick
for our next
pick
work
and
session.
choose maybe what fits us. Because we could talk this around in circles, literally.
So if we set our next work session, maybe we can make this an issue and have some examples to look at.
'Cause I know the current laws revolve around e-bikes with pedals, and I haven't seen anything about the non-pedaled, but I know I've seen a number of non-pedaled bikes around here.
Well, there is one that, there's 3 categories: a pedal assist to 20 miles an hour, a no assist to 20 miles an hour, a pedal assist to 28 miles an
How are
hour.
we
Those
gonna
are
know
class
looking
1,
at a
2, and
bike?
3.
It's
As you
a
and I were
what level
speaking,
it
the
is.
technology has
Exactly.
changed so much,
I mean,
it's beyond that.
How old they
So
are.
we really have to consider this stuff.
yeah, George, can you just look at them and know, like, oh, that there? I mean,
Well, and that's just it.
how do you
For the pedal
know?
electric ones, you have no idea, none. You can only really see
Except
Which
when
is
they
why,
pass
if
you.
like,
it has pedals or not.
here's
Yeah,
what I'm
when they
gonna,
pass
like,
go
I know
down.
we're not supposed to be continuing to discuss this, but the registering thing makes sense to me in that regard, because I think you would have to say you're registering your bike as this level of whatever. That's the
This was
only,
one
like,
of my original proposals that
Yeah,
I
I
kind of put
remember
out,
that.
where it's like, let's put a training session out there where the kids also register the bikes and the scooters specifically so we can see what they're riding.
yeah,
Because we just don't know.
Yeah.
And we don't want to make a huge issue if nobody has a certain kind of bike.
right.
Well, here's a thought. Do the schools still have assemblies? Does school have assemblies that they could do? Because if you
Yeah,
have an assembly
occasionally.
at a school, all the kids are there. And you can have the police talk with them about this and say, these are the rules, these are the laws, these are the expectations. All the kids are in school, you get them all at the same time. If we have something in the public, some of them may choose to come, most of them choose not to come. But if they're at an assembly, they're kind of like a captive audience.
Well, and this may be a good subject to, like we've talked about, kind of teaming up with the school board on a meeting. This could be a subject for that.
I don't
type of
know,
meeting.
I mean, is it a possibility to do this? If we could have an assembly and talk about this with the kids, they're all there, all at the same time, they're all hearing it.
Well, if you have a motorcycle, you have to obey the laws of the road, the rules of the road. And the same thing should apply to a scooter. If you drive down the wrong side of the road with your scooter, you're in violation of the rules of the road.
I know.
Well, and you
I think
can't
one
ride
of the
motorcycles
main,
on the sidewalk.
I think one of the, we need to talk about it more, obviously, but my biggest hangup is not enforcing stuff. That's not what I'm talking about here, is how do you know? Is the kid 16 or is he 15? Are you gonna pull them over because they look like they're, that's the thing that you gotta think about when you're doing these things. You can't just throw out a regulation and say, this is what it is, because
Well, I mean, I guess
there's
it's
one
not,
guy over here
yeah.
and he's sitting in here right now. No offense.
The scooters are running rampant while
And
he's
they're
in
running
this.
rampant while he's sitting in the meeting here.
You did it
So-
for golf carts. This should not be
Yeah.
much harder than golf carts,
Well, I understand that,
in theory.
but
Yeah.
one of the things with the golf carts is I also sit through all that. I wasn't on the council at that time to do that. And now it seems like it's several years ago and you can tell me. Yeah.
No, I mean, from a policy position, it's illegal to drive your car without a valid license. Come sit through Muni Court and see how many people choose to not do that. And again, it's
That's
what's the
issue.
regulations in place? How does it get enforced? How do you make it so there's a form of accountability? And I think that's always been it. I mean, and again, they made changes to state law right now where you as a city can now legally say that golf carts can drive on sidewalks. The state just passed that statute.
I know.
So, I mean,
think-
this whole transition of what should be on the road, what should be on sidewalks, and what is safest for everybody is
Right.
continually conversation, even in our state.
Well, I think it comes down to, I mean, it's not a problem until it's a problem, right? So you wouldn't know the age of a kid, but if they ran a stop sign, you pull them over, then it's a problem, like, so.
Yeah.
Right, so, I mean, I guess it's that, you can break the law until you get caught breaking the law, and then it's, I mean, right, I don't know. So, all right, next, I mean, add it to the work session, I guess.
Next on our
To be
agenda is setting a
continued.
work session date.
Oh, man.
Get your calendars out.
So a lot of that, I guess, depends on, you obviously have two topics you asked to be on the agenda. We
Thank
put
you all
this
for coming.
on the,
We'll see you in 2 weeks.
if you want to have another work session involving the budget, you will have to approve your final publication and notice of the budget hearings at the 19th meeting. So if you want to discuss or make any more changes, suggestions to the budget document before it kind of gets finalized on the 19th, I would say trying to have a work session either sometime next week or that Monday or Tuesday would be advisable. Obviously, we can still talk budget even after we give the notice of publication, because you can always adopt a budget lower than what you published. You just can't adopt a budget in excess, so. And how soon you want, I mean, we can definitely get examples of communities that have passed e-bike scooters probably pretty quickly.
Would the 12th next week, or the 12th be okay?
For a work session?
Might be a little tight
Okay, well,
turnaround with Old Settlers. I'd say I would
Oh, that's right, yeah.
prefer if we could push to either that Monday or Tuesday of the 17th or 18th.
Okay,
I know that doubles up a meeting for you guys,
I'm
but
good with that, I'm fine.
I'm better with
I thought you were saying this coming, but I was like,
no.
I got back to school, I was like, that's,
I'm not sure I can be here on the 17th because I'm in Hayes.
that doesn't work for me either, but the 18th.
I can do the 18th.
I can do the 18th.
Mr. Keating?
I'm good.
What time?
Yeah.
6?
18th at 6.
Heston does theirs at 7:30 in the morning. Yes, they do.
Yeah, that doesn't work for me.
You don't have anybody that has actual jobs?
I'm just kidding, I don't want, not that I don't like y'all, but I don't want to meet at 7:30.
I'm gonna purposely walk up to the school through that zone on that day just to check out the e-bikes.
Count them.
I'm,
Okay, work session 18th, 6 o'clock.
just need a motion, please.
Mr. Mayor, I'd make a motion to schedule a work session for the 18th of August at 6 PM.
You have a second for that?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous. Then we have an executive session to go to.
I move that the Halstead City Council recess into executive session to discuss contract negotiations involving the city of Halstead pursuant to the consultation with an attorney on matters that would be deemed privilege in the attorney-client relationship exemption, KSA 75-4319B2. And as in addition to the governing body, the following persons joined the governing body in executive session: the city manager and the city attorney. The open meeting and government body to reconvene in the city council chambers at 8:50 PM.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No action taken and no action needed.
All right, I move that the Halstead City Council recess into executive session to discuss contract negotiations involving the city of Halstead pursuant to the consultation with an attorney on matters that would be deemed privilege and the attorney-client relationship exemption, KSA 754319B2, and ask that in addition to the governing body, the following persons join the governing body in executive session: the city manager and the city attorney. The open meeting and governing body to reconceive in the city council chambers at 9:10 PM.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Might have aggravated Julie a little bit.
Okay. There was no action taken and no action.
So I just want to wish everybody happy Old Settlers Days and thank you to all of the volunteers that make that happen, because none of this would be possible without all of the hours and the sweat that goes in to making these things happen. So thank you to that. Be safe, have fun, and let's have a great year.
Ditto.
I left you so much to say. You know.
George?
Yes, I'm just hoping that everybody has a good and safe Old Settlers experience. And doggone it, quit blowing your grass clippings out in the street. Ugh. Stop it. That's it.
Yeah. Have, everybody have a good Old Settlers and just, keep hydrated because it's gonna be a hot and humid one. So, be careful. Oh, yeah.
Okay, moving on to the city manager's comments.
Not a lot this evening that hasn't been discussed in previous things. We're still working on the budget, so in prep of the work session, if any of you have comments or things you would like to see, so we can present those to show you, just please let me know, shoot me an email, stop by the office, whatever works. And other than that, yeah, good Old Settlers. Most departments are in Old Settlers mode, prepping and helping with that. And as has been acknowledged, a big thank to the volunteers that work with and in conjunction with our city staff to make that event happen. So just everyone be safe and have a good weekend.
And with that, I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good job.